The 27-country bloc, that is the European Union, has trade agreements around the world. But there's one country it just signed one with this past weekend. Switzerland, of all countries, lies at the heart of Europe, but it is not a member of the EU. Lars Holter is with Deutsche Welle and joins me from Berlin now on the story. Lars, what can you tell us about this new trade agreement?
Thanks for having me. Well, I got to tell you that I too was surprised that there hadn't been a trade agreement between Switzerland and the EU so far. Switzerland has 4 neighboring countries, that's Germany, France, Austria and Italy, that are all EU members. And then there's a 5th neighbor, tiny Liechtenstein, that is at least part of the single market, the European Economic Area. In fact, a person in Zurich has to travel over 600 kilometers to even get to the next non-EU country, which would be Bosnia-Herzegovina or Britain, depending on what direction you want to take. It is obvious, given the geographic location of Switzerland, that almost all of its trade is with the EU. And for decades, bilateral agreements had been regulating that trade. They had all been focusing on separate business sectors. And since they are now running out, many in Switzerland were in fact anxious to get an all-encompassing trade agreement in place so as to secure the trade partnership for the future.
And Lars, now what are the main points of this new trade agreement?
Well, first of all, it regulates the literal trade of goods, the import and export without tariffs, the transfer through air and land, but it also officially allows Switzerland to trade electricity and energy with Europe, which, for example, is especially important for Germany, particular southern Germany, where we're sharing a border and where many companies will be happy to import electricity and hopefully see prices drop. One item was a bit of a stumbling block. Switzerland is a country that has always had a very tight lock on immigration. And the EU, of course, allows its citizens to freely move within the bloc, to live and work wherever they want. Now, that is something the Swiss didn't want to see for their country. So Switzerland insists on its ability to slow down or stop the influx of people moving there. That was especially important as many had feared that otherwise the deal wouldn't even get agreed to in the first place. By the way, the deal is not yet fully through. There will be a referendum sometime in the new year that can still technically block this agreement from becoming the law. But it seems unlikely, given the warnings economists have been given. They fear that Switzerland would stand to suffer without well-regulated trade with the European Union.
Okay, thank you very much, Lars. Lars Holter reporting from DW Berlin.